Now to the Ebola epidemic. The Dallas deputy who showed early signs of the virus has tested negative. He does not have Ebola. Also today, 6 U.S. military planes arrived in the Ebola hot zone in West Africa, bringing more Marines. And in just a few days, airports in our country will start screening passengers arriving from West Africa. The first will be New York's JFK Airport this weekend. By next week, screenings will begin at Washington Dulles, Newark in New Jersey, Chicago's O'Hare, and hartsfield-jackson in Atlanta. These 5 airports account for 94% of the travelers coming to the United States from West Africa. Channel 4's Kamasi Aaron is joining us now live from Jacksonville Airport, which is not involved with the testing. Kamasi has been talking with travelers. What are they telling you, Kamasi?
Well, they say this really just makes them feel a little bit more protected. The CDC's director says it's really going to only affect about 150 people every day. So that was a relief for people I spoke with who are just glad something is being done. Holly Snow is leaving JIA, heading home to Atlanta and Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. It's one of 5 across the country that will start screening passengers from West Africa for Ebola.
So I don't think it's going to have that much of an impediment. But again, at the end of the day, if it's about patient safety and public safety, I support it.
It means a new airport process for people arriving from Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea, the 3 countries hit hardest by the epidemic. The passengers will be taken to a quarantine section, have their temperatures taken with a gun-like non-contact thermometer. They'll have to fill out a questionnaire answering questions about whether or not they've been exposed to anyone with Ebola. If there are any red flags, they'll be evaluated by a CDC public health officer on site.
I believe that we need to take every precaution that's necessary in order to protect the public safety, because obviously this is a major concern, and if it's going to protect me and my family and other passengers, I'm all for it.
The CDC says the goal is to stop anyone with warning signs from getting past the airport gates and into the U.S. public before they can possibly spread the virus any further.
I mean, it's a concern, but we have to keep on living.
Nick Iolucci says he's okay with the extra precautions and doesn't expect them to affect him much.
It wasn't that much of a concern for me because I expect it to be more along the lines of people that are coming from certain countries, so I expect them to isolate it a little bit more instead of just doing a broad spec for everyone.
Now, we spoke with representatives from the airport. They told us that Jacksonville International Airport has no direct international flights to or from West African nations. They said we are in close contact with all appropriate agencies and ready to assist if needed in their efforts to manage concerns related to potential Ebola-exposed passengers. Reporting live, Kamasi Aaron, Channel 4, the local station.
The urgency of the Ebola epidemic has prompted a charity to make a record donation. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has committed $50 million to ratchet up aid efforts. Melinda Gates described how the money will be used.
I think we need to move supplies very quickly. I think we need to educate communities very quickly on how they can make sure they don't contract Ebola. I think we need to actually draw blood from people who've had Ebola and recovered from it so we can use their blood or their antibodies and give those to other people. And then back home, we need to be working on the right drugs and vaccines for a long-term strategy against Ebola as well.
The World Health Organization estimates the outbreak has killed more than 3,800 people, the vast majority in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea.